this this is myself. That is how we grasp. And then we think, quite self-centered thinking. If we can demolish this self-centeredness, where we have relief, where there is no stress, then the Buddha, the next method, the fifth method, Buddha said, observe this body and try to understand the four elements in the body. There are four elements like solidity in the body, liquidity, heat and air. There is nothing else. You can condense the whole body into these four elements. That is another method. As the sixth method, the Buddha said it was the custom in the time of the Buddha that when one dies, the body, the corpse is taken to the charnel ground and thrown away. Then the Buddha advised his disciples to go to the charnel ground and observe the dead body, different stages of the dead body. After 2 days, 3 days, several days after, going from time to time and observe it and compare it with your body. This is what happened to me also. Now it is blue, it's festering. Then again, when you go there, you can see that it is bloodless, no blood, no sinews, no flesh, just the bones. And another time when you go there, you can see the bones scattered in different areas, different places, different directions. Seeing these bones, you can see, oh, this is what happened to me also. Like that, from time to time, see the corpse, see the dead body and compare it with your own body. That is another method to understand the body. So in this manner, you can reduce stress. You can manage stress. And then the Buddha said how to practice mindfulness of feeling. When you practice mindfulness of feeling, how to establish mindfulness of feeling, where you have to give attention to the feeling in the body, sensation in the body, and you to understand if it is painful feeling, you have to understand it as a painful feeling. It is not your feeling. If you grasp it as your feeling, then you can see it clearly. It is not your feeling, but it's a feeling. That is how you have to understand feeling. The sensation is not your sensation, but sensation, it's a sensation. Sensation, whatever the sensation or feeling, it is not yours. You to see it objectively, observe objectively. That is how you to establish mindfulness on feeling. Then mind, how to establish mindfulness in mind. That is observing your mind, where you are not observing your breath or feeling, but mind. You are simply sitting somewhere or standing somewhere, you are observing your mind, how the mind works, how it roams. Buddha has defined mind clearly in the Dhammapada. Dhammapada is a wonderful book. It's like Bible. It is better as you are practicing, as you are understanding, trying to understand this teaching. It is better keep a copy of Dhammapada at home, in which there are 423 stanzas. All these are the verses uttered by the Buddha. So the Buddha defined this mind. Once he said the nature of mind. He himself compared this mind to a monkey. Buddha compared the mind to a monkey. And he said the nature of mind. Buddha said, is flicker in fickle mind. Flicker in fickle mind. Spare in far. Living alone. Living in a cave. Bodiless. These are the characteristics of mind. Very subtle. It's subtle to see. Sududdasang. It's difficult to see. Sunipunang. It's so subtle. Yatta kama nipatina. Wherever it likes, it stops. This mind, the Buddha said, this mind can be tamed, can be guarded. Once it is guarded, it brings happiness. So, for that you have to understand your mind. When you have a lustful mind, you have to understand it lustful. When you have hateful mind, you have to understand as hateful mind. When it is peaceful mind, you have to understand it is a peaceful mind. When the mind is concentrated, you have to understand it as a concentrated mind. This is how you to practice, develop mindfulness on mind. When you practice in this manner, you can experience the Dhamma. You can experience the teaching. As the Buddha said, when mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, it fulfills 4 foundations of mindfulness. So 4 foundations are mindfulness of body, feeling, mind and mental objects. So when you cultivate these 4 foundations of mindfulness, the Buddha said, they fulfill 7 factors of mindfulness. What are the 7 factors of mindfulness? The first one is, these are called 7 factors of, not 7 factors of mindfulness, the 7 factors of enlightenment. 7 factors of enlightenment. What are the 7 factors of enlightenment? Mindfulness is the first thing. When you develop, practice, cultivate these 7 factors of enlightenment, they lead you to the attainment of enlightenment. The first factor is mindfulness. The second is investigation of the Dhamma. Third is energy. Fourth is rapture. Fifth is tranquility. Sixth is concentration. Seventh is equanimity. Those are the 7 factors of enlightenment. When you practice, develop these 7 factors of enlightenment, they lead you to the attainment of enlightenment, where you can gain knowledge of insight, where you can understand the 4 noble truths. 4 noble truths is the results of eliminating stress. If you completely destroy, cut off stress, what happens? You can understand stress as stress, dukkha. Then you can understand its cause, it is cause. Then you can understand its cessation and the path leading to the cessation of stress. What is the path? Path is the Eightfold Path, which is called middle path. Of the path, there are 8 factors. That is why it is called Eightfold Path. Let's understand these factors.